Good viewer, you are watching Xirtus. This is because Xirtus makes you feel good, makes you feel fulfilled. You are enjoying this. You will continue to watch Xirtus for a long time to come. You want to subscribe to Xirtus, and you will. You will like and subscribe and share. You will tell your friends. Tell your friends about Xirtus. Your friends will come to like Xirtus, much as you are liking this right now, as we speak. Thank you for subscribing to Xirtus. See, that was easy.
So long as I'm in this Oval Office.
What up, guys and gals and everybody in between? How's it going? It's Thursday, April 11th. I got Winslow here and our friend Laser Dabs. What's up, Laser Dabs?
Hey, how's it going?
You guys are in the process of building something. What's up? You're like building an empire, kind of a shadowy villain headquarters. What's going on? See, look, he's hiding behind Ethernet cables. There's something going on there. You can't.
Yep. Certainly. Actually, we're in the ferry building right now at this awesome, was it Shack 15, I think it's called? Yep. It's pretty cool. Check it out. Nice. Yeah, we're building new technology, new battery technology, and other stuff, some high-powered electric vehicles, redoing my friend's yacht. We're making it all electric.
That's sweet. You know, like that's a big thing around here. We do love the real science and the electric universe, but also building batteries. It seems like on a concrete level, building something, supercapacitors, batteries, some sort of energy storage devices. You know, we're always needing that. What is the what's the kind of angle, or what's your spin on it?
We're solving some problems. We're solving balancing for good, and balancing will no longer be an issue. I can't really tell you exactly how we're going to do all that, but your batteries will be balanced, no problem, with our new.
Well, maybe explain to the layman like the problem, not the solution. Like, what's the deal with balancing, and why can't I just take an old battery and put it in my dad's remote? Like, what's going on with balancing?
Well, we're talking about larger battery packs, like with, for like an e-bike or like a scooter or something like that, where there's a bunch of batteries that are set up in a configuration where you have series connections. So that means that where it goes positive to negative, and that's increasing the voltage. So when you have these higher voltage applications like e-bikes or electric motorcycles or electric yachts or whatever you're doing, you got to connect a lot of different cells together in series to increase the voltage. And when you do that, these batteries get kind of unaligned with their voltage. So sometimes they get more drained or less drained than other batteries. So the idea is that we're going to make it so that that doesn't happen anymore. They have some current tech on the market. All the BMS tech has it in it, and they use a resistor. It's called top balancing. And what happens is that as the batteries get charged, the resistor will go on the highest voltage cell, and that will kind of decrease the voltage a little bit for that cell as it gets charged. But that tech is not very good.
Yeah. Okay. So you've got a better solution. That's awesome. And is it, so it sounds like it's something that you feel like you can do yourself. You don't have to do it like in a dangerous, like overseas fabrication that costs $100 billion with association to the elite. That's cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we have our own fabrication equipment. We can make our own PCBs in house. We can do our own design, quick, rapid prototyping. I've got a pick and place machine to populate the boards and stuff.
Epic. So in other words, you've got like, a fab hackerspace, and this is one of your projects, but you're set up that you can do all sorts of things.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Awesome. So kind of what's your dream? What's your plan with this? I mean, this sounds great. This sounds like a better hackerspace than we've seen in the Bay in like a decade, by the way.
Yeah,
already.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, actually I had it set up as a public space for a little bit over by Balboa Park BART station. I had like 1,400 square feet and just had some really nice equipment in there. And then I moved from there to a different warehouse in the Mission, 18th and Mission area. It's like 6,000 square feet. So it's a nice big unit. And now we're basically kind of checking out even purchasing a building somewhere here in the Bay Area. Just looking at a few different spaces.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I mean, obviously you could probably get like an In-N-Out, an old Taco Bell, maybe a Blockbuster video. But do you have any kind of dream goals of like places around town you've always wanted to have?
I think we're looking to buy a church, actually.
Oh, there it is. See, the hacker church. Yeah. That's the goal. I think that's the perfect goal. I'm a big advocate of that goal. Well,
for
those of us who don't, maybe some people, like for me, it's like obviously intuitive. A hackerspace is like a school or a library, but not everyone is very familiar. Do you want to maybe talk about like how you found out about the idea of hackerspaces and like how you got involved with that and like, all that?
Yeah, I got involved through NoiseBridge. To the whole concept of a hackerspace.
Yeah, NoiseBridge has been around for a very long time. The longest surviving hackerspace, which is kind of a play off of a makerspace, but I'm sure Justin would love to tell you more. I can definitely chime in too when he's ready.
Yeah, I mean, NoiseBridge is great. I was inventing the world's first laser ignition bong when I found NoiseBridge, and I needed someone to do some programming for the firmware of it. And I ended up meeting some people, and I got in contact with this guy, Chris, and he was doing the firmware for Comma AI for like self-driving cars, and he did the V1 firmware for me for my laser ignition bongs. And I mean, that was pretty awesome. So that definitely got me started in the right direction, and I got pretty big with that. It was on like Vice and Joe Rogan's podcast, and Cypress Hill put me on his stuff. Weed Maps wrote articles about me, all sorts of madness.
On a side note, do you find that laser hits as hard as a solar, or like how would you rate it? Like,
yeah, it's like a solar rip, and you can tune it yourself too, so you just widen the focus or narrow it.
Wow, yeah, because you control. That's I think a lot of people don't understand how much technology and creation that goes on. And this is interesting because in the Bay Area, right, like we're associated with being kind of a counterculture in a lot of ways. Do you see this as counterculture because also you're building something that's for everybody? What is this? Is this a mainstream or counterculture?
I mean, I guess it's a little of both. I mean, I do all sorts of stuff. I'm kind of across the board. I build, robots for startups. I've done consulting for some major companies that are doing like tablets and other things like that. But yeah, I do weed stuff too. I build high-powered longboards that go 75 miles an hour. I'm working on in this electric motorcycle battery company now. So yeah,
I guess it's important
we're
to
working
remember
on
in
all sorts of stuff.
California, like in California, like it's just a regular job, you know. It's not like
Yeah.
you're gonna have to do regular work. That's awesome. So,
Oh yeah.
well, when you started going to Noisebridge, you know, early on, like, what was your like take on that experience? Like, you walk in, you see a bunch of equipment. Like, what did you think about it?
Noisebridge was a really awesome space back in the day. I felt like super accepted there, and everything was super awesome. There were really no rules. The only rule was be excellent to everyone, and be like, excellent to the space. That's how I liked it. It was awesome. And then they changed locations, and a bunch of different people came and made a bunch of rules, and now it's not that cool anymore.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say that even on a more general level, like, you know, since COVID and makerspace communities, I mean, even before that, it was becoming there was more and more people, and there was more and more rules and times and things like that. But what did you see happening that like you were worried about in the makerspace community that you feel like you want to do differently?
I mean, that I want to do differently in particular. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be starting like a public makerspace or anything like that anytime soon. Like we're just kind of yeah. I mean, we have a shop and we have lots of equipment, but it's just really for our crew at the moment. I had a public space that was really cool and fun for a while. I had that for a couple years, but it was a lot of work, maintaining that space and keeping everything running and all the equipment and everything. So yeah, it's a different ball game when you just have a small crew that's using the equipment because you're using it together and you're using it properly. So
And you think that's probably like the better way to go is like everyone has mutual obligation, responsibility, you know, to the assets. It's like, do you think that is it you enjoying this much better, much more?
yeah, I mean, once we buy this building, that'll be epic. Then and then we won't have any overhead, and especially if it's a church, it'd be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, have you thought about making it a religion? You know, I mean, honestly, you can seriously. You believe that technology will make the world a better place. I don't know.
Yes, yeah, hack church maybe.
Well, Winslow, you look like you've got some thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, we've both had our experiences with Noisebridge. I know you've had your experience with Noisebridge too, Andreas. There's a lot to say about that, but yeah,
You can't say
we're
something
working on
nice. No, I'm just kidding.
exactly. Yeah, there's lots of good things to say. Definitely go to Noisebridge if you get a chance, and yeah, don't stay long, but come back frequently. No, there's a really inspiring place to meet people, and like we have come together and started brainstorming some really, really big ideas to change the world. And some of these ideas I think we should even talk about here on the podcast. Some of these ideas are so huge I don't think we'll be able to do all of them. But what better way to, you know, use the idea than share it with the world? Like there's some ideas that we're working on and I don't know. What kind of
I
ideas
know
do you
it's
think we
like
could
it's really
share?
hard when you're like, what can we say without like ruining it for ourselves economically or our mortality? I don't want to get shot for saying something either, but you know, what are the thing and maybe part of the thing is you can talk about like the problems you want to face. I think
Hmm.
that's one way you can look at it.
Yeah. Should we talk
Yeah,
about the ocean?
sure. I go ahead. No,
Yeah. So something that I've always wanted to do for a while, and I brought this idea up to Justin, and then I've also brought it up to other people, and it starts with the problem is the ocean has tons of plastic in it, and it's not going to go away anytime soon, and the plastic's going to continue to be added to the ocean for the foreseeable future until the entire world has a middle class that has grown and we're all out of poverty. But back to the ocean, plastic, that is a resource that can be harvested and sold. Plastic is derived from oil, so at the end of the day you go out there and you take that plastic and you make it back into oil, one of our objectives is to create a process where we have a boat that goes out there and harvests this plastic and then turns it into, an island where, there could be an airport one day, but more realistically, it's an island where.
Let's start on how we get to the island. All right.
Yeah.
So we're going to build a boat, and the boat is going to be very large. It's going to have a processing facility on it, and we're going to use the plastic in order to basically burn, in order to create heat that will melt down the rest of the plastic. So we'll take big scoops of plastic out of the ocean, and we'll burn some of it and melt the other part of it, and kind of like an extruder, and that'll output a large kind of like filament, and that'll be a big rope. And we'll keep making this big rope until we make a giant net that we can kind of like constrict around all of the trash, basically. And so we we just keep going along, right?
Yeah,
and then we have
like a
this giant
spider.
rope. Yeah, and then we'll have a big giant plastic island, and then we'll have a bunch of boats that as more. These are areas where trash collects in the ocean, where plastics collect specifically, naturally with the currents. So there's like 3 different spots in the world. So it's actually a renewable resource if you think about it, in the sense that like humans are always going to be fucking up, and they're going to be throwing garbage into the ocean. And so if we could just kind of camp on these areas and collect all the trash as it gets there, basically, right, we can create fuel out of it. So after we make our net, we're going to use some of that heat energy to create electricity using water and steam turbines, that kind of thing. And then we'll also
like from chemical heat or piezoelectricity, or what's the?
No, we're gonna burn plastic. We're out in the middle of the ocean, all right. So there's no laws out there. So we'll burn the plastic, and then we'll create electricity, and we'll then use microwaves to remove the oils from the other parts of the plastic, and we'll create fuel, and that'll be kind of like diesel tanker fuel. And then that fuel will get put onto a ship. That ship will go into a tanker lane, and then the tankers will come refill, and we'll have kind of like a docked, tanker there that fills up other boats.
Yeah, it's crazy how inevitable like the buildup of ocean plastic is for being used for petroleum resources. I mean, it's just apparent. But you've got Richard Soa, who does the plastic islands. He takes plastic and builds nets around it. That's like a hippy dippy version of it. I mean, with much respect to Richard, but you can see already in practice that makes sense. And
yeah,
what about things like bio? Because I'm just thinking about how this kind of your project sounds similar to nature biomimicry in certain respects. Are you interested in like mycology, using mushrooms with the plastic or anything like that, or are you just you want to save that petroleum for yourself?
Yeah, we're trying to sell it as fuel for the boats.
Yeah, oil pirate barons, and every plastic pirate needs a pet, and we're gonna have a pet shark.
There's multiple like islands the size of Texas made out of oil, basically.
Yeah.
We're gonna go collect it.
Yeah, they don't want you to know that it's valuable. That's why they call it trash, garbage.
Right. No, for real. Yeah, and the idea that it's just like, oh, it's this major problem, that you're responsible for. But at the end of the day, it's like a problem is a solution in waiting.
You should maybe talk about Pastoloteopsis microspora, which is a type of endophytic fungus discovered in the Amazon rainforest that contains bacteria that can biodegrade and break down synthetic plastic.
I'm familiar, but we should talk about it.
Yeah,
sounds cool.
Yeah, if you have a link, throw it up. Also, like there's a Norwegian billionaire who's proving this concept right now. Like it's the largest yacht ever built right now. It beats the Saudi prince's yacht Azandra by like 30 feet or like a couple meters, something like that. But it's going to be a floating science lab. Yeah, it's really
Chile and Argentina and Peru, particularly Chile and Peru, have landfill problems. And when I was working with Ian Crossland in South America, before the Peruvian government collapse, like our plan was to use mycology for converting most of the leftover plastic. So that's a big problem there. They have just plastic bags everywhere. But it is interesting to think about the value of the petroleum before you convert it back to a natural resource. I mean, you can sell oyster mushrooms, but they wouldn't be organic. So
yeah, we haven't really talked much about the microbiology that's implicated in that, but I hope that other sectors of the world are pushing forward in sustainability, and hopefully we can become actualized. And one day maybe the rivers into the ocean will be the trash that we it's our trash system, because it's just
God, I hope
naturally.
so, because the rocks are already kind of slippery. But if it's all plastic, it'd be like a slip and slide. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it'd make like Disneyland. Do you have any other things that you feel privy to talk about in terms of these plans?
Yeah, we love the idea of hypothetically having a pet shark and having it in your home.
In a bowl,
Yeah.
or in like a ball that rolls around inside of your house.
You want like a tiny potbelly shark?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Like in kind of like a hamster wheel, but it's like electric. And so like as the shark gets near the bowl, it like moves in that direction, but also moves water in the direction of the shark, so it feels like it's swimming in that direction.
I hate that I'm going to go on this tangent, but I'm going to do it anyway. I feel like sharks are already robots, right? I mean, like after growing up in Santa Cruz on the coast all my life, and like seeing, you flip a shark upside down, you bop it in the nose, it resets itself. It's basically a Roomba. It's really weird. I don't understand how we even and people keep talking about like personhood and AI, and I'm just thinking about sharks. But yeah, it'd be great to make like a tiny shark. Is that you want to genetically modify sharks, or what's the idea? Like just to control them with electrons?
No, we want to let them control themselves, but on land.
Yeah,
oh, okay. So you want to give them the capacity like a fishbowl, like a hamster wheel to move
like a
around.
hamster hamster ball, but for a shark.
Yeah, I actually saw a project like this once where it was an Arduino Pi controlling a fishbowl. And the fish, as it swam forward, there's an infrared camera, so it knew it was moving forward, so it would go the direction it tried to swim. That would be interesting to do with a shark.
Well, we want to do that, but a little bit more complex in the sense that the fish or the shark will have water coming towards it in the direction that it's swimming, so it can continually swim. And the faster it goes, the more water input, and it'll just kind of stabilize it in the middle of this bowl.
And a shark is a fish. We don't need to be racist here.
There will also be an emergency button to induce tonic immobility, which will basically point the shark downwards, which will freeze it for a few seconds, just to fail safe.
Are you worried about this technology getting into the hands of Russia?
Sharks with laser beams attached to their heads. Definitely.
It's a pretty good project, actually. I like it.
Yes. Yeah.
And the ball will go slowly through your phone.
A big thing you love is lasers, it sounds like. Is that right? You guys, do you have lasers?
What do you mean?
Well,
are we behind?
Lasers.
Yeah, do you have lasers?
Yeah.
Sweet. What kind of can you talk about what kind of lasers you have? Do you have argon lasers, or what are you using?
I've got diode lasers, CO2. On my laser cutter, I've got like a 50-watt CO2 laser. It's pretty small, but for like a laser cutter, but it works for like acrylics and all sorts of stuff.
Sweet. And so what do you want to use your lasers for? Do you have like products you want to use your lasers for?
Oh, sure. I mean, I use lasers in a lot of stuff, but I don't know if we have any use for them at the moment in our current battery tech or whatever we're developing.
Yeah. There's definitely some applications for lasers.
I mean, they're in the LiDAR sensors.
Yeah.
So you can use them for that shark positioning or shark bowl.
We may come out with a new laser bong at some point.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that'd be fun.
New what? I couldn't quite hear you, Winslow.
A new laser bong at some point may come out with one.
A V2 laser bong.
Yeah,
Nice.
you should definitely show your audience the levitating one. That one's pretty freaking cool.
Oh yeah, can you pull up stuff on your?
Yeah.
What's up? You got Reddit?
Either the link or put it in the private chat or whichever way you want, or you can pull up stuff too.
I'm Laser Dabs on Reddit, and it's all in my content or whatever. I don't know if you can.
Yeah. Sort it by the top. It's I think the one I'm trying to show you is the top viewed one or the top like interacted one on your list. Yeah, that one's really cool.
Is it this
And
thing?
all of your stuff's so cool.
No, that's the old one. Well, that's like the very first one.
Okay, nice. Let me Laser Dabs. If I type in laser.
Oh yeah, right there. Yeah.
I should probably be careful. It says not safe for work, but I mean,
Go up. Go up. Scroll up.
Yeah.
You see post? Yeah, hit posts there, right next to overview, and then right below that says new. Sort it. No, go up. Yeah, where it says new, click and top. Hit top. Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. Well, yeah. This one. So I levitate a dab on a standing wave of sound with these ultrasonic transducers. So it sits here on this low pressure pocket, right? And then I hit it with the 445 nanometer laser, so you can smoke it out of midair while it's levitating. This is that.
Why would anyone do anything else? I don't understand. My word, that's crazy. I mean, that's brilliant. I like it. That's awesome. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Do you think you're gonna market these? Like, is this to market? Is this just a prototype?
This was an early prototype when I was like working on the Silicon Cali thing. Yeah, keep scrolling. This is the app version, the retail version where you can light it with your phone with our laser ignition bong. So the bowl rotates with the magnetic gearing system. There's a key ignition. There's a wireless charging, and you can fire from your phone, change the colors and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, wow. That's quite a piece of technology.
So I want to make a comment on the laser bong.
If you keep scrolling, there's a case for it or whatever. I don't know. It's in one of these images or whatever. Oh, these are my lighters. This is tight. Oh, yeah, good. Well, all right. So the lighters, they rotate plasma around a small magnetic containment field, and it uses Lorentz forces, so it'll evenly light your joint tip so that it doesn't run. It creates a little portal.
Whoa.
They're pretty hot. I've got a patent on those and the laser bongs too. Oh yeah.
I like how practical that is, actually. I mean, kids don't do drugs, but if you were going to use technology for good instead of evil, I mean, he could have made weapons of mass destruction.
I could have made laser bongs instead of laser bombs or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Well, Winslow, what do you think? What else do you want to make sure that we share about the place?
Yeah, well, the safety mechanism that Laser Dabs implemented in that laser bong is top notch, and I really think that's going to be the future of a lot of technology on telecommunications.
Define what's the safety mechanism?
So
which one are you talking about?
The goggles. And, and the no trip.
Yeah. So the goggles themselves, the actual goggles, they interact with our Bluetooth app, and they make sure that the user is wearing the safety goggles. It's just like a small light sensor, and so that you can't fire the bong unless the goggles are on. And then the other problem that the FDA had with because it's a class 4 laser product, so we had to be FDA compliant. The other problem that the FDA had was that the user could potentially hurt themselves with the beam. So we put a series of smaller lasers that go around, and then what will happen is if any of those get tripped, that cuts power to the main beam. So you can be smoking and run your hand back and forth, and it'll just keep cutting on and off the beam when your hand's not there, basically.
I mean, okay, so I feel like sympathy for Apple now. I mean, if the government made you do that, then I can only imagine what they make Apple do for a phone. But like, yeah, and that's awesome. I mean, actually, I can see those being really practical. One time I had a laser cutter going, and then Brittany came in and just stared at it like it was a bug light or something. And I was like, wait, what? Like, obviously don't do that. But if people don't know any better. So you have to be careful with that.
Yeah, if you're, I mean, if you have the proper shielding over your laser, it's all right to look at it. If you, it's a polycarbonate will protect your eyes. From a laser cutter is usually in the thousands of nanometer range. So traditional polycarbonate, that like clear stuff, which is what they have as the shielding on those laser cutters, usually is fine to look at the beam through, the invisible beam through. You know.
Sweet. Yeah, that's practical. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
So what do you think? Do you have other thoughts about like, so, I mean, is your goal, you think, in the long run to use anti-gravity for for other things, or was this kind of like?
Yeah, I want to do some. We're going to be working on houses soon. I'm going to build some kind of like future home tech and like levitating tables and shit like that. Sounds interesting to me. I might do something like that.
Yeah, I just had my bed come out of the ceiling, so definitely we're gonna have a lot of fun there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we actually do have
Anti-gravity
we do have a
Murphy
laser
bed.
project that we could implement, and it literally is just using the same technology laser dabs implemented into a safety device. But if you think about street signs, like all the street lights in cities, those are evenly laid out in like a strategic pattern. And if you were to put a laser between each street pole and have that transmit data and internet, that would be way more efficient than using, heavy metals. And we could, dig up all of the fiber optic cables and just get rid of all of that and literally just shine a laser beam between each street pole.
Stop talking.
Yeah, all right, I'm done. Yeah, we got lots of stuff. Yeah.
That's cool. I remember that Mexican LiDAR Li-Fi project, though. It reminded me of that. But
yeah,
there's definitely like, the idea of anti-gravity, is all taboo because people make it sound like it's so impossible. But there you have a freaking bong that's doing So I mean, I feel like there's so many simple things you can do, like a Roomba that could like be more practical. Just anything, any number of things that are more practical that way. And yeah, furniture is an interesting one, especially because like you can keep your house cleaner. There's like some simple things that would make your life better with that technology.
Oh yeah, exactly. I'm trying to bring crazy new age technology to literally kitchen table, quite literally.
Yeah.
So.
Food tech.
Smart Susie.
Yeah, I mean, all sorts of stuff, but I want to. I mean, I had like a plasma cutter in my burrito making machine to cut the aluminum foils sections. It was some craziness, but yeah, like I bring the new age tech into the kitchen, into the world.
It's legit. So what do you guys think you need? Like, do you guys need things? Like, is there anything you're trying to figure out? Like, you're trying to get people listening to help out with?
Our church. Yeah, we're because we're starting this church, and we were buying this building, and we need. What do we have our page set up? Yeah, can you post a link on that? Okay. Yeah, we're gonna post a link to our page that talks about it. But yeah, we're looking for I don't know what it's donations or what. Yeah, donations for to set up this church. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah, and volunteers too.
Yeah.
If you guys are interested, come check it out. It's gonna be one hell of a project. It's gonna be a huge building in SF. We're gonna build it out with like robotic cafes and all sorts of madness. It'll be fun.
You can earn your own food by
by pedaling on the bike.
Do you have like a roller skating area? I want it to be like Hackers, the movie, where you can go around.
Oh yeah. It needs the roller skating rink. Yes.
It's kind of key. Did you send the link in the private chat here, or where should I look for
I don't know. I think he's still working on it.
Okay.
Send it in our group chat. I'll post it. Yeah, this might be a little bit of a shorter podcast, just because we got some things we got to get to. But would love to pop back in on another podcast and dive in more deep and show the battery products we're creating at some point.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard obviously for you guys to tour classified research, but at some point, if you want to like take us around and look at some stuff that you guys have in a way that it's safe for you to show it, that'd be cool. And then in the meantime, I hope to find the website to show the people, but this is a great plan. I think this is going to be, you have to understand, the world around us is collapsing. This is about the dystopic cyberpunk. Every cool cyberpunk movie where the world's falling apart, it all takes place in 2024. You know what I mean? And so to build the hacker church in San Francisco, this is the crew.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Still waiting for our AI to send over the link. But
can you rent a priest for stuff? Free Soul Hippie says, and I can. I don't know what stuff.
We're actually going to have a pastor for our church. It's a legitimate church, to be specific. For tax purposes, it is a legitimate church. So we will be holding services on Sundays, and we have a pastor. And then the building will be open basically the rest of the week. So we're going to do all sorts of stuff, events and everything there. It's going to be great.
We're going to rebuild the community around the church because
we're thinking about turning the whole room into a hollow deck. So, or a holy deck, right? Projectors on all sides.
The hollow deck. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be quite crazy. It'll be awesome.
Yeah. We're changing the world one step at a time.
Yeah.
You got a basement?
Actually, no, there is no basement in the church, but there is a backyard and an upstairs and a back room area with like a whole nother unit behind the church area.
So you, for legitimate purposes, can do, community and events if you need, to have some space open for that beyond work. That's very cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, should I Google around, or what should I look for the website?
Oh, did you send it to me, Tony? Oh, okay. I don't know how to put it in the chat. You should send it to Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it. He's just uploading it.
Sweet.
Yeah, we're going to run to an AI event. Then
there you go.
Oh, here we go. There it is.
I really like the multicam view. This is like, oh, it's gone again. That was fun for a second. Okay, hold on. Pulling open the page. It is here. 1 second.
Oh, did I just close it?
Oh, you're good.
Building a home for faith innovation in San Francisco. GoFundMe right here. I'll put the link in the chat. Also put in the description so you guys can find the thing. But if you're in the Bay Area, or you're into hacking, or you love the idea of time travel and church at the same time, then this is probably like a great way to get involved with this community. Actually, but we should probably, people are always talking about it. Let's buy a Tartarian building. Let's rebuild civilization. Let's get a bunch of lasers. Bro's got lasers. Let's do it.
Lasers are cheap.
Yep, let's do it.
Yeah, this is solid. Well, all right. I know you guys say you got some stuff to do. Is there anything else you want to make sure that we cover before we depart? But again, we should definitely talk again soon. Hopefully I'll be in the area in a few, so I'll come visit.
Yeah, definitely do. We can definitely do an in-person podcast sometime too. That'd be cool.
Yeah, come on by.
Yeah, we got a spot for you. We'd love to introduce you to the spot.
Awesome.
Hands on some things.
Legit, man. All right. Well, everybody, make sure you guys check out. Did I put the link in the right place? Yeah, it's right here is the GoFundMe link. I'm going to put it in the description as well. But it's the Home and Faith Innovation in San Francisco, building a home for faith and innovation. And this is a pretty interesting project. I know we were pretty casual about it, but that's how you kind of know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Full disclosure, partial disclosure, gradual disclosure. The point is, now you know. And
Now
yeah,
you
well,
know.
thanks a lot, man. Laser dabs, I appreciate it. We'll talk soon, dude. And Winslow.
Hell yeah. Badass.
Yeah, all right, later.